발끝이 타버릴 때까지 뛰어 맨발의 청춘을 더 burn it up 넘어져도 상처는 안 남아.
All right. Slowly getting the whole fading out.
We'll get it.
Yeah, get it there. So let me see if I can get this to actually. Oh, no, we are live. We are live on Instagram. Woo! We are good. Nice. At least it looks like it is. There's a bit of a delay, but that's okay. It looks like we're live. So awesome. All right, JC, go ahead. Let's start us off.
Hey, Stay. Welcome to STAYtalk. I'm JC and
and I am Chrysalis. We lagged again. It's okay. We're having technical difficulties today, so please bear with us. This might be a Chaos Friday podcast. But I'm Chrysalis. This is JC.
I may have to move my normal space.
Yeah, and you're sitting in on STAYtalk.
Well, I do have a week. You see, look what I just got in the mail today.
Oh, those are pretty.
Those are pretty. Those are pretty white paper.
Those are pretty. I think I'm gonna leave the music going in the background. I can kind of just sort of hear it. It's just sort of playing in there, and I'm just gonna kind of keep it, and see how that goes from there. But so we haven't even figured out what we wanted to talk about today. We obviously had a great live last night with our special guest Meg, and we are again very thankful for her to come on the show. We have a couple of the show. It sounds so, we do have a couple other people that we are reaching out to and trying to coordinate, and hopefully we will be able to get and bring more people to the table to get more input and whatnot. So we appreciate anybody that either catches us when we do happen to go live and or on the replays. We are seeing we were talking about numbers and whatnot before we popped on here, and we are very, very grateful for the numbers that we are seeing. And just thank you very much for taking your time to spend a little bit of time with us for the day. So do you have something that you wanted to bring up this afternoon? What you got?
Well, I was going to say, so I was out to lunch today with my husband, and we were getting in the car, and I had my Spotify up, and he's like, well, let me hear the new album. I said, okay. So I put it on, and he's listening, and I'm like, I played him in order. So I played him Bleep first.
Yep.
And he's like, wait a second. And he's like listening, and he's like, that's Felix, like the deep voice. And I said, yeah. And he's like, okay. And he starts listening. He's like, I said, it's pretty good, isn't it? He's like, yeah, it is. And then we went and I played Ceremony. I'm like, this is what I think you would hear on the radio. Like, I think they can play this on the radio right now. And he's like, and then after he listened to it, he's like, yeah, definitely could. Then I played him Creed. And then I skipped around a bit. I played him Phoenix because I'm like, this is my favorite song. Yeah. And then I played
laggy.
A little bit of Ghost. And then 0801. I said, this is a song that Chan wrote for us. Yeah, sorry. This is a song that Chan wrote for us. And he's like, and I said, what do you think? And he's like, okay. I get it. It's pretty good. So I was like, I may have got him on a good day, but I was like, okay, win for me. Like, but I did say, I said, now do you understand why people are drawn to Felix?
Yeah.
And he said, yes. I said, he looks like he should have wings, but he sounds like, and he said, yeah, an 80s hip hop star. And I started laughing.
It's not even an 80s hip hop star. Like, it is so, like, when you try to think of the various groups, I mean, obviously there have been groups that have had baritones before. Boys to Men, back when they were still four of them. Yeah. But even then, when Boys to Men started, and I forgot what his name is. I'm horrible with names. I know. Even Boys to Men, when they had that low bass, it wasn't. Yes. It was unusual then to a certain degree. Right. I mean, it wasn't because you didn't hear it that often on the radio. It wasn't mainstream. Like, you would hear it in places, but you wouldn't hear it there. Obviously you have groups like, metal groups and whatnot, where you have the guys that go very, very low. But even the guys in metal that do kind of a lower tone, because it's got the growl and the gravel and the distortion. Yeah. It doesn't, it doesn't have this, it doesn't hit the same, at least to me. So it's not even like Felix is a 80s.
Right. No, I hear you.
Pop star or whatever, there's something about like that. He's saying though, that's what, like, he pictures, like when you listen to him, especially when he's rapping,
You know what I mean? Like he thinks it sounds like a, you know,
Okay.
like an old school like KRS-One or one of those, you know, like rapper,
Oh God,
like
I
just
haven't heard.
this tone, right? That's what I mean. But I was like, that's kind of a compliment if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, for that to happen, I think I was. I still want to know. I know he talked about his voice changing when he was on Salon Drip,
Yes.
and how just like he thought he just had a cold for 2 weeks. And whatnot. Like, could you imagine being in his classroom and like here's this kid who has this kind of higher pitched voice, and then all of a sudden he
Comes
shows
in,
up
he's like,
one
hi.
day, and it's like hi. It's just
You know what was the cutest? And normally I don't like when people release some of the family stuff because it's just like it's crossing a line a little bit. But somebody released, and his father's not seen on the screen, but it shows little Felix, and then it shows it. You hear a voice, and it's, by golly, it is Felix's voice. You're like for a minute, you're like, wait a second, and then you realize it's his dad, and I'm just like, okay, that makes sense now. Now I can see why he said I sounded just like my father.
yeah, it took him, but like but of course when you're in that household, you don't necessarily recognize the tones as much until it happens. So it's just kind of funny to I can only imagine having been in school with him when that happened, and I was like,
yeah,
what happened to you? Are you okay?
that's too cute.
You know, I mean, yeah. Anyway, it's just to be like, I couldn't under. Then again, like it's funny too because you look at pictures of him when he was in high school and whatnot, and it's like it's Felix, but it's not Felix.
But you know what's funny? I don't think he's changed. I mean, he's changed, obviously.
His face hasn't, like the face hasn't changed.
Right. It's just the whole, yeah.
He was so tan and so.
Well, I mean, that's that Australian sunshine.
Being in the sun, yeah, I know.
I mean,
but it's just that like it's almost like a different person, but like not quite. It's that weird like it's.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, I do.
You heard that?
Yeah, but I didn't hear it like loud, but I could hear it in the background.
Jeez, that's a neighbor. Excuse me. I apparently have very loud neighbors in the middle of the day. I mean, I know I have loud neighbors at night, but I didn't expect it at 3:30 in the afternoon. I apologize, but he's just when I look at like the short-haired, completely bronzed, absolutely sun-kissed. Part of me wonders too if he ever got that tan so that he could hide the freckles. Like, was that kind of like a defense mechanism? I mean, obviously he's in Australia. He's running around. He's at the beach and whatnot.
Right. I'm thinking back. You know what's funny? Because I was thinking about this about his freckles recently because there's the shot of him when he was at a fan meet where he starts wiping off his makeup because Stay was like, we want to see your freckles.
Yeah.
And there was a stigma. I remember growing up because I had a lot of friends that had freckles, like Felix. I mean, even more so, all over their face. And they were always very partial to being like hiding their freckles because they felt, and I'm like, I always thought they were beautiful. And now you have the opposite side where you have people selling freckle pens to put freckles on their faces or glitter freckles or whatever. And it's like, it's a beautiful natural thing. Now, yes. Okay. Being out in the sun too much, you're going to get freckles. That's not the greatest because I mean, you got to worry about other things, but at the same time, it's like, it makes Felix more Felix and more human, less of an idol, I guess, to me. Like not like he's an idol, don't get me wrong. But I'm saying it makes him more like it adds an element of you're just one of us. You have a face full of beautiful freckles. You know what I mean?
You know what? Let's touch on that for a second, because obviously there's been a running joke about the fact that Stray Kids doesn't care about their idol image. And Han jokes about it all the time. Like anytime they're in an interview and something comes up, he's like, "No, we don't go to the bathroom." Like he in particular has a tendency to like just kind of tongue in cheek call out those things that they're not supposed to be doing as idols.
Like it's like, come on, guys, like let's be realistic here.
So there's that aspect of it, but have you noticed something? Because I've noticed with like One Universe and Kenny with One Universe just completely like not giving a shit about any of it. But I feel like to a certain degree, and I'm sure Stray Kids is not the only one, so I'm not fully laying this on Stray Kids' shoulders. I'm sure it's been just a general progression and evolution, like we talked about last night. But have you noticed that since you have a group as large as them at this point that now are completely just IDGAF and idol image what? And now you're seeing some of those younger gens that have that freedom and that have that confidence to be like, well, they can do it, so why can't we? And just having that.
With that in line, I think ATEEZ does too. I think ATEEZ runs that line too, especially with what was it, the recording where they were all doing lemon drop shots, they were drinking soju, and they were. Did you see that?
I didn't watch it all. I have not watched a lot of
ATEEZ. Bits and pieces of it is what I'm saying, where they're all okay. So they let their guard down for a bit. Like it was a nice thing to see. But in that vein, yes, I think they are in there. I don't IDGA. Thank you. Anyways, they're in that era. But at the same time, though, Chan, and this is something I love about Chris, still wants them to have that very old school. We're going to introduce ourselves when we come out. We're going to say goodbye at the end. We're going to have that respect factor for other idols and other generations. And he still stands by that. So even though they have that very freeing, where I think the younger generation idols don't have the same respect factor that Stray Kids still holds to other K-pop groups.
Well, I mean, this is, I said it on Threads the other day that, as a Gen X / Zennial, I am claiming Chris because he keeps talking about how he's a boomer, and he is not a boomer. He's definitely Gen X Zennial because he's in that.
He's a Zennial. I mean, he was born in 96. And if you think about it, most Zennials 97. Graduated high school. Huh?
97. 97. He's 97. Lino's 90. He's 97. Lino's 98. Changbin's 99. You've got the 2000 liners, and then you've got Ian in 2001. They're all consecutive.
Hold on.
But still, he's
all right.
He's like,
90, I thought he was 96. Forgive me.
He's like that transition. Like, how Zennials are that transition between Gen X and Millennial. He's that transition gap between like third gen and current.
Yes.
Like that link between.
Because when he came in as a trainee, he would have been third gen, correct? Wasn't GOT7 considered third gen?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Right.
I think so.
I think so.
If I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So he technically should have been realistic. So he's kind of got that transition link between it. So you get that focus on tradition and respect and whatnot, but at the same time that, okay, we're gonna do. Let's move this forward.
Yeah, I don't like to use this term that often lately, but it comes true to a lot of people that I've met in my lifetime. So I'm going to use it on Chris too. He's an old soul.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that? Like I don't like to use it often, but he is. It's like he has a maturity, a knowledge, his talent capacity. I mean, it just he's got this genuineness that reminds me of people that I grew up with that I would consider having an old soul.
Okay, but we could technically, if we wanted to play armchair psychiatrist, that comes with the trauma.
Yeah,
because I mean, even people within, but even people within the industry, because they mentioned it on Epic High, the Epic High video. There, how long were you a trainee? That has been brought up time and time again. With how long he was a trainee and how unusual it was that you had someone as a trainee for 7 years.
Yeah.
And in an environment that is admittedly toxic.
Yeah.
And is admittedly like brutal in regards to discipline and everything else. I mean, you're technically looking at the military for for music.
Well, and you know what's funny? I was talking to somebody about this today, and I'm going to brush it off on you now, too.
Okay.
So I was trying to think of, because I saw that Pixie Bach posted today about how they woke up, they recorded for Music Box, right? Music Box or whatever it is. Music Bank. Excuse me, Music Bank. Then they had a break in between. Then they went back for the live show. Then they did the fan calls. Then they did the meet.
Yeah, the fan calls.
Then they were at the other thing, and then it was like 2:00 in the morning or whatever it was. And I was thinking to myself, I was saying, what's one industry that you could compare that to? That yes, there is. I think there's one. A Broadway chorus performer is the only other person who could probably go toe to toe with the extensive training, the extensive rehearsing, the shows. Because think about it, besides even just all that rehearsal that they do for months on end, like the boys do to train for the tour, they're doing 8 to 10 shows a week. They're doing matinees and evening shows. Then they're having to go home. They have to train more. They usually take dance lessons or singing lessons during the week. They have rehearsals, and a lot of them do several shows. If they want, some are like choral members in one show, but if they have the downtime, they do it in another show. So that's the only profession I could say that would probably know how a K-pop idol or a K-pop trainee would feel.
And would have to have the same level of discipline and whatnot
because you got to watch what you eat. You got to watch your health. You got to make sure that you're in the tip-top shape. You got to, you got to
keep up on your training. You've got to do, you got
injuries. So it's always, you always have to be in play, just like being a K-pop idol.
I could see that. Yeah. At that point, I could see that being
that would be the only one. And it's funny too, because I wanted to do that at one time, and I'm thinking, now I'm sitting here going, I could never do what they did, but that's something I wanted to do way back when. Yeah. Maybe when I was in my mid-20s or in my early 20s.
I learned very quickly I didn't have the discipline to do that, because down here, you are obviously familiar with the area of Florida that I live in. But there at the time when I was in elementary school, they opened up a magnet school for the arts down here in the Tampa Bay area. And I didn't take chorus until 6th grade. And I was, my initial chorus was, I was put in like basic choir, like theory essentially. And my choir teacher heard me sing and was like, "Why are you in this class? I need you over here." And she moved me, she talked to my mom, and she moved me from the basic class into the actual choir class. Cause I had other than the fact that I would sing at home, I had no experience whatsoever. Now, granted, I was also the child that at 3 years old was singing Dance 10 Looks 3 at the top of my lungs in the middle of a grocery store. And my mother was like, "Shannon, look at the nice little apple." And I'm singing Dance 10 Looks 3. If you don't know what that song is and you are over the age of 18, please feel free to look it up.
A chorus line. We'll give you the show.
It's from a chorus line.
Which is one of my favorite all-time shows of all time. But anyways, go on.
But yeah, 3 years old in the middle of the produce aisle at the grocery store, singing that at the top of my lungs because I knew every single word. So she moved me over, and then by the time I was in 8th grade, I was helping her teach the class, because I was that kid that learned every single part. And then like she would then have the altos go off with Shannon while she worked with the sopranos or whatnot. And that just I was that kid that everybody hated in middle school, and I apologize because I was that typical choir kid. And she, of course, wanted me to progress into the magnet school for the high school to continue on with this. But in order for me to do that, I was going to have to wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to catch the bus. And like, nope. I am a night person. I am not a morning person at all, and haven't been since I was a baby. And I didn't do it. And she ended up getting upset because, understandably so, but, and I kind of passed it up, but I knew I did not have the discipline at that point to pursue that form of performance, even though I wanted to be, growing up, I wanted to be a singer or a writer.
Yeah. And
so it's like, okay, well, I can't. And then I literally dropped out of choir until my senior year of high school.
Wow.
For other reasons. Right. But it was just like, I didn't have that discipline level. So when I look at these guys and everything that they're doing, it's, I get it. Like, actually another industry that could potentially borderline with that would be professional wrestling.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because they're on the road 300 plus days a year. They only have usually 2 days off during the week, because even though you have your TV events and whatnot, you're still doing house shows to maintain and to build and to, give the undercard and whatnot that ability to progress and improve. And they've got to stay up on their diet, and they've got to stay up on their physical, and and they're traveling from one place to another literally every single day, every day of the year.
It still floors me that I wanted to do that at one time. Like I was part of, do you remember MTV having a show called Tough Enough?
Yes.
I made it.
I wanted to be on that. I wanted to be on Tough Enough.
I made it to the semifinals in New York City and got to audition in front of Mick Foley, Taz,
Oh,
Al Snow.
you were
Miss
doing
Jackie.
professional wrestling?
Because at the time I was doing Muay Thai kickboxing,
Okay.
and I was in very, very good shape, and I had
And you were a dancer. So you
I was a
already
dancer,
had.
and I had a very short blonde pixie cut. Yeah. And there's pictures if you go on my Instagram that show what I looked like with the
Oh my
pictures I
God.
sent in. And I'm still surprised that the WWE has not used this character for somebody in the company. I was
Did you pitch?
Dominique, the Diva of Destruction, and destruction was my job, but domination my pleasure. And my finishing move was a fatal fan kick. So if you're in the ring and as you were walking to the corner, and somebody would try to come behind me, I would fan behind and I would almost do a death drop I'd hit him with my leg and then death drop on top of them with the leg up like almost over their shoulder, and that would be the 1, 2, 3 count for the finishing. Like I had it all down. I mean, it was to a T. And I got into the ring and didn't realize that they put an actual wrestling ring in the middle of WWE New York, which was the restaurant that they had in Times Square at the time.
Yeah.
So I did not expect the bounce back. I expected it to be just a solid stage.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we had a jump rope. And it's so funny because if you watch the show, when they were showing the auditions, you see me, I fall, but God bless that cameraman because they showed me get back up and try to start again. So at least I didn't just fall and they just left it. But yeah, Maven and Nydia, who won. Nydia, I ended up hanging with all day. Maven, I knew, like the group of us kind of hung together.
Yeah.
That's
fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I made a lot of friends. I mean, I still have friends 20-something years, 24 years later that I still chat with on Facebook and stuff. It was a great experience. But
I would imagine.
Yeah, that was, I mean, yeah.
See, and that was during the time that I was like, literally, I was in the middle of doing all of my stage combat stuff. So I was like, and literally what we were doing was that with swords. So I was like, let me do this. But they never came to Florida. I think they went to Orlando, but that was still the beginning of the internet.
Well,
so it was
send in a tape. I taped myself as me, like, look at me now, like how I'm dressed. And then this tells you how old school this was. The video camera that my best friend was holding panned down to my feet. We paused it. I changed out of it. I put on leather pants, a leather bustier kind of top. I had big boots, and she panned from my feet back up, and I called out Stone Cold Steve Austin. I called out The Rock, The Undertaker. Like I had this whole like thing down. And the funnier part to that was when I got to the audition, I could see you. You're just blurry.
I know. I went blurry all of a sudden. Hello. Hi. There we go.
Here it is. The funny part to that was, so I get to the audition and, all of us are signing in and stuff. And this MTV, like, exec, I guess, so to speak, that was like Steve, I'll never forget. He kept looking at me and I'm like, hi. And he finally came over and he goes, I know you. And I'm like, you do? And he's like, you're Dominique. I saw your tape. Your tape was great. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Like it was just like, it was like my little 5 minutes of fame that, hey, he saw my tape. He knew what it was. So it felt good.
I made an impression.
Yes, exactly.
You made an impression, which is exactly what you want in that situation.
Yeah.
But yeah,
do you know what's funny to me though? And the comparison does work there with some of the wrestlers, that the way that they are, it almost reminds me of The Boys being like how they are. Like, The Rock is like the charisma The Rock has. Chan has that same type of charisma. Like you just want to listen to him talk about anything. And that's how it was when The Rock first came out. Even when he was heel, you wanted to hear what he had to say.
Yeah, not when he was Rocky. Not when he was Rocky though. Just when he finally
yeah. No, but the whole generation when it was the whole like accident and that whole thing, was very cool. That's why I love watching the skits codes and stuff, because it reminds me of the little skits and vignettes that they had at the time for.
Well, yeah, because it's like it's them amped up, like it's them, but it's them amped up to like 11. It's that turned up it in, and that authenticity shows. Like if anybody has actually paid any attention to professional wrestling, the characters that actually hit and that land with the audience are them being themselves, just amped up.
Is the biggest one, because I met John Cena. He came I worked at a gym in Glastonbury, Connecticut, Gold's Gym, or world. I'm sorry, not Gold's. It used to be a Gold's. It was a World's Gym. But he came in and he was a baby face. Like he literally was just on the circuit. But I recognized him. You know what I mean? Like he was just starting out, and he was the nicest, the sweetest. He was just like your regular guy kind of thing, just working out and stuff. But it's so funny to see how far he's come now, and it's genuinely, he's a nice guy. So it's nice to see the nice guys. That's why I think people root for the guys so much, because genuinely, regardless, I mean, yeah, Lino's got his little quirks, and so does Sungmin and everybody else and stuff. But as a whole, the bunch of them together are like such a group of good guys.
Yeah.
You know, you want to see them succeed.
I have said from the very beginning that in spite of, I shouldn't say in spite of, in addition to all of Chan's talents, obviously, you know, the musicality, the composing, the writing, the dancing, the rapping, all of it, Chan's superpower is the ability to recognize talent in other people and promote it and build it. That is Chan. That's honestly Chan's truest talent. Is I mean, he's wonderful at everything else. Do not get me wrong. The man is, I can't name very many people that I know of, either personally or just in general, that have as many talents as they all do, but especially Chris. And his biggest one was the ability to recognize talent in others and then be able to support that. Because that's
bring it out too.
Well, that's to cultivate it.
Yeah, cultivate it. There you go. That's a perfect word. Yeah, I agree.
You know, that's his biggest, because he could, realistically speaking, if he wanted to, he could take a step. He could literally step back and not do any of it at this point and just pull people in and build. Like, well, I can easily see that man having his own record label.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to bring this up because this is actually a good segue to this, because I've been seeing a thread go on like, what would the boys do should Stray Kids ever do their last step out? What do you see them doing? Now, Chan, we know it's production, it's something in music. He can write, he can produce, he can do a lot of stuff. Same thing with, I would think, Han and Binny. They could either go on and do, you know, write for people or produce, or Danceracha could be the trio still to this day and just produce like Epic High does, like Tableau. Like, you know what I mean?
I guarantee you, Danceracha will have their own company.
Yeah.
At some point, because between Binny's mind and his numbers and Binny is the businessman. Yep. Behind the scenes, I guarantee you, Binny is the businessman. He is the one reading all the contracts,
right, and
making sure that everything is aligned, and making sure that the guys are protected in that way, and paying attention to the numbers and that one. Binny is that.
Right.
Chris is evident, right?
Yeah, obviously.
And then you've got Han, who has the ability to mediate.
Yeah.
And to be able to kind of be that third input, where that tiebreaker, essentially. Yeah. So I could very easily see Danceracha having their own company, just in general. And then taking what they've learned and then making sure that, especially because of how the group has been set up with, okay, we're going to make the Maknae, the youngest is first.
Yeah.
And we're going to make sure that these people don't go through the same experiences I went through.
Right.
And then expanding on that. So I could easily see Danceracha having their own company.
Right.
Easily.
Now, here's where I get aggravated, because then it's the standard. Well, Hyunjin, modeling. Well, Felix, modeling. They're more than just their faces.
Yeah.
First of all,
Hyunjin's going to go into art in some way. Hyunjin will be art.
Oh, I agree with that. Art in several capacities. Like he is so freaking talented with his art. It's not even funny.
Between songwriting and his actual art.
Right.
Like, get that man a gallery, please. Yes. Please. He needs to have his own art show, because it would be highly successful. Oh, and not even because he's a Stray Kid. Like, that would bring people to the door. Yes.
But his art is just that good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But, and yes, we all know from, if you watch any of these STAYtalks, that I am a Felix bias, but I hate the fact when people underestimate him when it comes to other things. You know where I see Felix going? I see Felix going almost in the vein of Rawoon. Do you know who Rawoon is?
No.
All right,
I see him
Raul.
go. I see him going the philanthropy.
No, I see him going the acting. I see him going
I could see that,
a drama route.
but I think ultimately,
yeah.
I think that's going to be more to support philanthropy with him. I think at the end of the day, he
So
will somehow.
I think he'll always be a philanthropist. But I do think he enjoys performing so much, and that just seems the genuine next step. I think Felix could be a good actor. I do. And the thing that he's got going for him is he speaks English. Besides, he could be a K-drama star. I'm not saying that, but he can also cross over into things because he speaks great English.
And voiceovers, whether
right.
it's
Absolutely. But I mean, voiceover is a gimme. I think he could record every book left known to man, and everybody would be like,
oh my God.
You know what I mean? So it's just
book talk would explode.
But Raul, just to think, so Raul was a K-pop star in SF9. He became a K-drama actor. He still is a K-drama actor. He recently was like in Destined for You. He's been in a lot of good K-dramas. He's also a Calvin Klein model. He's also an ambassador for Tiffany. He's also, I mean, he's like the older version of Felix. He was in Kingdom. His band SF9 was against Stray Kids in Kingdom. They were the tall, model-looking guys. I don't know if you watch Kingdom. They were all the very. He hurt his back, so he was in the first one, and then he was in the Steeler one.
I remember that because Chris asked him why he wasn't doing anything, and he mentioned that he had hurt his back.
Yeah, because he had back issues too, which I was like, it goes hand in hand with Felix. It was kind of a funny thing. Now, Sungmin, I think could go on to be, but on his own. I do. I think he's talented enough that if he wanted to, I mean, he's already had OSTs on his own. I could listen to that man sing, Happy Birthday in every language known to man. I think he could do that.
He could sing Baby Shark in every language, and I would still happily just listen to the man.
So I think Sungmin will stay in something in music. I'm not sure what he would. He doesn't. I don't know. I know he wanted to be a teacher and a priest, so that doesn't bode well for being an idol. And afterwards, I mean,
but he could segue the teacher aspect of it from like into being like a music teacher or something along those lines. Even if he goes and works for Danceracha's company and is one of those behind the scenes.
Well, and that's where I was going to go with Lino. Lino would be a choreographer.
Yeah.
Lino's choreography, people underestimate. They're always like, Hyunjin does do fantastic choreography. Hyunjin is an amazing dancer.
But it's Lino's choreography.
Right. That's what I mean. So it's like,
end of the day, yes, Hyunjin and Felix have input, but ultimately from what I can surmise from context clues that they give out during all of the previews of the albums and whatnot, when they discuss the choreography for different songs, Lino has final say. It's that and granted, they're probably more diplomatic than that, just like Danceracha is with song distribution, with line distribution and whatnot, and as the group is as a whole. But I think ultimately it filters through. It filters through all of them, with Lino being that final filter of okay, if he doesn't create it himself, like if it's not something that he created that they're then using, it filters through, and then he's kind of that final boss, as it were. So ultimately, because even when they've there was one other YouTube channel I watched where they had two of the choreographers for JYP that they were talking about, like the choreography for Maniac and whatnot, and how hands-on the guys are with that input and that collaboration on it. And even then you got the impression that it was like, okay, this is, even if they're getting somebody else's choreography to do, because they did for Maniac and I forgot what the other song. There was like two other songs that they went over, and some with Chick Chick Boom.
Yeah.
It was actually a really cool video to watch. Because I really enjoy the back office stuff with that. But you still got the impression that at the end of the day, it's Lino's your final check mark on whether or not they do something choreography wise. But when you actually watch his choreography, it's impressive to, like, I am not a dancer. I have never been a dancer, but I can watch dancing and be like, okay, I can see the technique. I can see that. And you can see his fingerprint on like the stuff that is definitely his choreography.
I see it in ceremony.
Well, I am pretty sure Lino choreographed all of it.
That was his, like with his other with the hip hop group. I guess the one that they showed, he did a couple of with the Walking on Water when they were doing that, or splash it up. He did it with two other choreographers, and it was people that he used to be. I guess somebody had said in some sort of hip hop
Cupcake Crew.
Group. Yeah.
The Cupcake Crew, I think is what it's called. It's Cupcake something or other, but I think it's Cupcake.
You're right, Cupcake Crew or something. Yeah, you're right. So it just goes to show that he, like people are like, oh, no, it's like Lino's the real deal. Like I'll go to bat for that man. Like seriously.
Oh dear God, no, it's from the dance side of things. To me, it's always interesting to watch Danceracha, because obviously Hyunjin is the focal point. Understandably so,
because of the way he hits things,
but because of his body, because of his muscle control, because of that muscle control is immediately, even if you don't dance, even if you are not somebody that dances, even if you're not somebody that appreciates dancing, you can watch Hyunjin and immediately recognize the level of muscle control that man has. I'm not even going to think about some of the things I've thought, but the level of muscle control that man has, like Meg said last night, he is literally walking sex. There's no way around that. Then you've got Felix, and Felix's footwork is like, I'm sorry.
You got to watch too. It's like Hyunjin hits the moves in his body control, but Felix hits the beat. Like if you ever notice, like, and I think I said this before, dancers either dance usually one step ahead or one step behind. They're very rarely on the beat. Felix's rhythm, like musicality when it comes to rhythm, and that's why he's so good at footwork.
Yeah,
he hits it hard and on the beat, and that's what, like, especially like this whole thing with ceremony and if you watch it, it's like it's very subtle, but whereas Hyunjin is more whereas Felix is more you know what I mean? Like there's a definite and Lino is more smooth. Like
and I was about to get to that. Yeah. Whereas Lino, the reason why people don't, I think, pay as much attention or give Lino as much credit for the choreography that he does is because his mastery of movement in general is so fluid, and his technique is so precise, and he has been able to meld that precision with the fluidity to a point where it doesn't look like it's choreo. It doesn't look like that. That's just the way the man moves. And there's a subtlety to that a lot of people don't pick up on.
You don't appreciate it until you watch. Like watching it live made me appreciate it more. To me,
I hate to say it, but I wasn't really paying attention to Lino when I was watching them live because I had my eyes were being taken in 8 different other. No, I shouldn't say 8, but like 2 different other. One really big difference, but but it's kind of the same thing along with Chris, where it's just it is a natural.
Yeah, it just people naturally his dancing ability too.
Oh my God, like it's
like when he did that thing with Hyunjin to Gold. Right? Yeah. That was that little TikTok where he did the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like he hits a certain way, and it's very smooth, but he's very controlled. Like he hits the body movements different than Hyunjin. Hyunjin hits it hard, whereas Chris is more subtle hard. It's like, I hate to say it, but it's like a contracting thing. Whereas Hyunjin would be like, like Chris is like. It's like it's a very subtle difference, but it's there.
Yeah, and it's so like, and I look at it from the perspective of I don't know about you because you've done the WWE stuff now, so you might very well look at this the same way. I can't watch fight scenes in anything and not analyze it, and like there's been a couple of fight scenes that I've watched where it's like where I came from, it was very much okay. We wanted it to look like a fight, like an actual fight, but we're still doing a show. So there's swoopy moves that we're going to do that would never be done in an actual fight, but we're doing them because it's art. It's it makes the movement more grand and either easier to see from further back, or just because that's what the audience is expecting to see, because most people don't know what an actual fight would look like, especially with weaponry in your hand.
Exactly.
So when I watch, not being a dancer, I still watch movement from that perspective of, okay, like I am watching their feet. I am watching the way the muscle control and where what hits where, whose hand hits here and whose hand hits there. Because what's amazing with them, and we've touched on it before, and a lot of people have mentioned it, their synchronization is fucking insane.
Yeah.
It is so unbelievably difficult to get 8 people to literally do every single dance video to the point where your claps and your footwork sound like one person. I don't think people fully understand how difficult.
Nope, I agree with you. That Chick Boom dance practice video, when they play it without, and you could hear just their footwork.
And their sneakers are all, it's one person.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, they're synchronized and they're all hitting it like that, and it's all one person moving, but you see their personalities in each and every one of them when you watch the fan cams.
Yeah.
And I love that, like from a movement perspective, to me, that's like,
well, the new choreography, I learned the last part and I posted it. I did the TikTok dance challenge, but here's the funnier part. Their most simple moves sometimes are the most difficult for my brain to wrap around it, because the footwork is so simple, but with the arms, it makes it more difficult. And especially, I get very frustrated because if I can't do something right the first time, I get pissed off. I'm like, I should be able to do this. So the stupid thing that goes like this, their feet are just going side to side, but it's you know what I mean? It's like I was like,
it's like the patting your head. Yeah, it's this.
I'm like, why can't I get this? And then finally, I got, after watching Hyunjin do it a million times, I was like, okay, I got it, because my feet wanted to go with the way my hands were going, not the way their feet go, because their feet go but they're doing this. So it's just like, it like blows my mind that some of this very intricate, would look intricate, is not that intricate. It's just the way that they put it forth. So it's just like, I'm just like, like it's K-pop dance is very I'm sorry, it's very different than regular dancing.
I can see that from what little actual dance experience I have. Yeah,
like even like the end of it took me forever to learn the end of the Chick Boom, because it was it's just the way, it was just the rhythm and the way it was, and I'm just like, why can't I mean, it's a simple pattern, why can't you get this? Like, it was so frustrating. That's why I'm glad. Thank you, dance cam people, for not putting me on the thing, because I was like, I was all ready, and then I'm like, no. Like,
I spent, so down here, I've got a friend of mine that owns she and her husband, and they're one of their very, 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 very good friends, owns it's a healing center is what they call it. And like, because he does acupuncture and whatnot. Their roommate does the massage and what have you. And then she herself does, Reiki and shamanism, but she also teaches belly dance. And so she has, part of the center is like a dance, is her dance studio essentially. And I rented it out a little bit prior to the concerts, so that I could try, because she's got TV and whatnot. I'm like, I just want to use the TV and turn on YouTube and turn on tutorials and use them. And I need the mirrors. Like, I've tried doing it at home and I can't see what I'm doing to know whether I'm actually doing it correct. So I literally rented out her dance studio for like 2 months before
that's awesome.
the concerts, to start learning the choreography. And then by
my basement for like 6 months, and it was like and again, I don't have a mirror. I can record myself. I have 2 phones, so I record myself on one phone and then watch it, and I would be just like, why can't you just get this damn thing?
Yeah, so when I recorded myself on my phone, and then I used her mirrors, so I had the phone facing the mirrors, and then I recorded myself, and then I had the TV to use for reference. But even then, it's like, okay, I learned walking on water mostly. And I learned a bit of la 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 la, and I learned the chorus for Chick Chick Boom, but not the end, not the outro of Chick Chick Boom, which is what they actually used during our leg of the tour. So I was like, because I literally had a list. I went through like every single city prior to it got to North America, and I wrote down for at least the ones that actually recorded, the fan interaction portion of it, because not everybody, or not everybody did, and I get it, because it's like it's not them, but if you're gonna record and post a concert, please try to do that part too, just because it helps some of us out. But I wrote down every single song, like, and every single portion of the song that I could come up with, because they used. I thought it was interesting because over in the Asian market, it was different at every city and different every night. But then over here, it was the same reel every single time.
Two different ones. I thought it was two different ones.
There was one. I want to say L.A. and New York, I think, were the only two where the second night they used a slightly. There was one or two different songs.
I was in the second night, and it was a different song than day one.
But otherwise, it was the same. There was the same 5 pieces everywhere else.
My favorite choreography, hands down, is Thunderous, the original Thunderous, not the Thunderous Dominate Tour version. The video choreography to Thunderous, so with the stay pose, as I call it, they do stay pose before they. That
was one of the first pieces of choreography that with them that I looked at and went, holy shit, because that whole entire chorus, they're on one foot, like.
Yeah, with the twist. But believe it or not, that's choreography that I learned quicker than all the other ones, and I don't know why. It seemed like my dancer brain got that one. Yes, I think it's
a continuous movement.
Yeah, same thing. Maniac, I don't think is as hard. People are like, this is difficult, and I'm like, I don't think it's that hard. It's again, you have to make sure your hands and your feet. So I love the tutorials that are on YouTube and there's many that you could learn. They teach you the feet first, then they add in the hands, as opposed to teaching you all in one.
Yeah. Yeah,
or some will teach you very slow. They'll do the music. They slow it down to like 0.75. Then they'll bring it up and they'll bring it up. And then you could that way too.
Yeah. Because with Maniac, like I can do the hit. I can do the arms. That's fine. I can do the legs. Getting them to do them together, my brain goes like exe file stops working. And it's like, it drives me crazy because it's like, I know what to do. It's just my body will not do the thing. Like I can do all the
here's a note to dance studios around the thing. You should have a K-pop class,
please, because there's one in Orlando. There is one in like I kind of want to.
I haven't found one in Connecticut yet. I've seen like offshoots where they do like a special like one-off. Oh, here, come on. No, I want an actual. Give me an adult K-pop class.
And there's
adults that knows how to dance. K-pop.
Channy's laptop on Threads. She has a regular K-pop dance
class. I've
studio.
seen her. Yes, I'm like jealous. I'm like, please. I wish that was here.
Please, I would figure out how to pay for that. I don't.
Yeah.
Please, like, because I would love to. Like, that's. I know my body can do it. I have finally convinced the narrative in my head that yes, my body can do it if it wants to do it. But I don't have the instruction to be able to, fully comprehend, or to have that that's other set of eyes to be able to watch me and go, this is what you're doing this, but you need to do that.
Right. Because
I can watch myself in a mirror, but it still doesn't mean I'm actually hitting it right. Like, show me the basics. Actually, you know what? There is somebody on TikTok that does do K-pop basics.
Yeah.
And maybe I just need to start following that a little bit more and learning that, like, they break down the basic steps.
Oh, okay.
So that, you can recognize what step it is and then do the thing. Because that's obviously what JYP does, is you learn the basics first, which Lino mastered in 2 weeks.
Right.
And then, not surprising. And then they teach that they show you how to put the basics together to create the choreo. But obviously I'm sorry, what the guys are doing is not basic choreography.
No, it's not. No. And I don't mean to, me saying that something simpler is not, that's my dancer brain saying, okay, that makes more sense as a combination to me then, but there's other stuff that I'm just look at it. I'm just like, what? No.
Yeah, like it's kind of like, okay, it was like I can break down like I can break it down. I
Yeah.
know my brain will break it down. It just will not. I cannot come up with it. I
Right.
cannot create like. I can, yeah. It's kind of the same thing with my singing. I can sing, and I could do that. I have a problem creating music, but I can parrot
Yeah.
other
See, my
stuff.
problem is I choreograph freestyle. Like I kind of do like when Hyunjin would put on music and just freestyle dance. Like
Yeah.
that's how I choreo. Like so I have to tape. Like before I would just like stop, write it down, stop, write it down. But my thing is I have an idea in my head, so I go first. So now I record myself because then I can go back and go, okay, what did I do here? All right, write that down. All right, now I'm
Yeah.
going to try it again that way.
See, I
And I
wish.
can work through it. But most of the time, like I'll just put music on. Like when I don't know if you saw it, I did side effects. I literally put the song on. I literally it's on my TikTok if you scroll down. I literally put the music on. I back up and I just dance for the entire whatever up until I think IM's chorus or something, or right before 100. But that was all just in my head freestyle that I just went with. Like it's just like that's how I do it. It's like it's so which is not necessarily the good way to do it. So anybody who said you got it, there's different ways to do it. But that was my dance teacher that I learned from was like that. So that's why I appreciate when Hyunjin used to record all these like little offshoots because he would just go and just dance, and that's like how you should be. You know, sometimes
is that how he ended up doing like Motley Crue and
and then I mean then he did some choreography, but like the one he did with Yeji, the I always want to play with fire.
Yeah, the play with fire.
That original one, the original one he did was he just kind of did it off the cuff. From what I was told, now I could be wrong, and somebody will probably tell me I'm wrong. But regardless, that's what I had heard, and that he would do that a lot. So,
I mean, and it makes sense because he didn't come to the company with a background in it. And they don't do necessarily counts for when they do choreography. So it's all feeling.
I don't either, but mine's like bam, bam, ba, ba. It's like old school Broadway. Come on, the chorus line, like 5, 6, but then you would do like da 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 da,
Yeah, like Fosse style.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I in a certain way I wish I'd had the technology, because I mean, granted we had video cameras back when I was doing stage combat, but it was bulky and it was different, like it was a pain in the ass. But I wish we had done that, because whenever I actually was talking about this with a friend recently, is whenever we would choreograph a fight, it was always okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna who's attacking, who's defending first.
Yeah.
We would usually start with, okay, who wins? How do we want to get there? Like, what do we want? What do we want the storyline to be? And then, all right, so if this is the storyline, my character's more aggressive, or my character's more timid, or my character doesn't really want to be here, and and how would that play into the movement?
Yeah.
And the overall story arc. And then literally it was choreographed. It was like, okay, I'm going to do this. How are you going to respond? And then what's the most natural thing to do from like, where if I'm going to do this, where does your body naturally want to go?
And I think that's what the boys do with their music too. I really think, because it
think so.
seems like most of their songs have some sort of storyline that they follow. And I think that's how the choreography is too. Because I mean, some of it goes too perfectly for it not to be that, for them not to have this idea. And don't tell me Danceracha when they're writing it doesn't have like they brainstorm ideas and then go, hey, okay, this is what we're thinking. This is the whole vibe.
Well, a good example of that would be Thunderous with the whole goblin dance with the dopeki. They have they call it a certain thing, and they're calling it a certain thing because that's the storyline.
Yeah.
Of the the whole flavor, as it were, of the song. The color of the song has influenced what the storyline of the choreography is going to be, and then that in turn gets interpreted into the music video. So they already have. You're right. I'm 100% certain with the way their brains work, just from what we have been able to deduce from everything over the years and how they explain things. There are times when those guys have. Hold My Hand is probably a great example of Han had, when he was writing that song. He had visuals in place for references and whatnot on what that song felt like and how that and that in turn got interpreted into the live performance and then subsequently the video.
Right. Same thing with Venom, if you think about it.
Yeah, though Venom's an interesting concept for me because it's a the way the video, like I get it, but like just how the video got interpreted compared to the song to me is a really interesting.
Why?
Because you've got the whole like heist, you know, people that got caught in a heist type thing. You know, they've got the masks, they've got the. Hold on 1 second. Yay for being a 40-something-year-old woman. So you've got the whole heist aspect of things, which granted they've used regularly throughout because they used it in Freeze and they used it in was it Ta? Ta was the John Wick movie one.
Cool? No.
Ta?
Yeah, I
think it was Ta. Where they had where they had the they were stealing stuff. And then to a degree with Backdoor, there's a certain amount of that kind of storyline written in there.
See, I didn't take Venom as a heist. I knew that they were up, but I didn't think it seemed.
Yeah, and there's a safe, that Benny opens up, and then there's the scene where they're all like in the little ring, and they've all got like masks on.
Well, I saw that. I took. Yeah,
they're about to rob a bank.
No, see, I took that as fighting because they all have like.
But they're like ski masks.
Yeah,
it's not like wrestling masks.
I thought aren't they luchador masks?
No, they are ski masks. So that's why I was like, so there's that, and then of course you've got the whole like last dinner. The Venom, you know, where Felix
and the spider gets him,
Where Felix jokes about turning, you know,
turning into Spider-Man.
So you know, so there's that like overlay of that on there, which is kind of something they have in a few of the videos, but it's just like that doesn't necessarily match the song for me necessarily, you know. And then like you've got the scene where you got the pew 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 with Hyunjin with the target and
I love
Han, but then you've got like the lasers and then the strings representing the lasers, which are the cobwebs, but they're like lasers for protection, like like. It's kind of very much a Mission Impossible style video.
Yeah.
Which doesn't quite necessarily match the song as much for me for some reason. But
it's funny, I never really looked at it that way. I just I don't know. I liked the video. I love the scene where it's who's playing chess with Felix and Benny's in the box.
Is it Ian? Ian seems to be Ian's always the one playing chess for some reason. It's either Ian, Sungmin, and Lino are the three that are always playing chess. Which actually kind of makes sense because it's sort of like the brains behind everything. So
yeah, one of these things I want to do eventually is I want to do like a deep dive on the videos, sort of like Roscoe does. Like not the production value, just like the value of the fact of like, does the storyline, what's the storyline? Do we like it?
There's another YouTuber that I watch too that does something similar, and he's really, really good. And he's kind of like a mix of Roscoe and Ben Kim.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Hold on. I can't remember. If I find it, I'll message it to you. I'll find him, I'll message it to you. But I kind of like how he interprets the videos. Like the storyline behind the video, like how that kind of matches, how that kind of meets the song in a way. So yeah, there's so much we can impact. We have literally like years worth of content.
Oh, absolutely.
That we can go through with this just from like little bits and pieces. But we are coming up on an hour. We're at 58 minutes right now.
Yeah.
So we haven't figured out next week's schedule yet. We're gonna do that after this real quickly. But we will post that on our socials once we get it figured out, and we'll start promoting it so that you all know when we're going to be live next. So again, I think we're kind of got to a good stopping spot for today.
Yes,
it feels like. So we really hope that you guys are enjoying these. For those of you that are watching, by all means, please make sure you're following us on socials. Make sure you're smashing buttons. Make sure you're doing the thing because we very much want to get more people involved, but also you can get involved by commenting on the videos, commenting on socials. If there's a particular thing that you would like to get our input on or would like to get our perspective about, let us know. We have a list going, but that doesn't mean that we're going to necessarily think of every single thing. And then of course you can follow JC and I individually on socials, but please make sure you're following the STAYtalk on all of the various socials. Links are in the bio. So if you catch this on a replay, thank you very much for catching up with us. And I'm going to end today with our usual. Now let's get out there and be the best damn fandom that Stray Kids deserve. Make our guys proud as hell. Thank you for spending time with us today, and we will see you on the backside.
Bye.
Bye.